This segment is brought to you by Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, dressing Northeast Kansas their Western best for almost 60 years.
Hello and welcome to Horsing Around. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center, and today we're out at Timber Creek and joined by the coach of the Kansas State University Equestrian team, Casie Maxwell. So thank you and welcome here on Horsing Around.
Good to be here.
I guess one thing that sure might interest a lot of people and maybe not know a lot about is the Kansas State Equestrian team. And maybe when did it start here at Kansas State and where has it progressed to here?
It became an NCAA sport here at Kansas State in 1999. That year it made the transition from a club sport to an NCAA sport. We started off in the IHSA format and competed in that primarily up until 2008, at what time we transitioned over to the NCEA format, which we're competing in now.
That is, and it's kind of interesting. So it's one of the newer things that's here at Kansas State as far as the athletic department.
It is, yes.
And I guess the other question would be, how many students or athletes are here on the equestrian team, and what does that, entail?
Well, for starters, it's a women's only sport. That's one thing that a lot of times people don't know. Since it is a Division I sport, it's women's only. We keep about 50 girls on our team and about 50 horses on our team as well to balance out that roster. We've got an English team and a Western team. In our English squad, we compete in equitation over fences and equitation on the flat, and on the Western team, we compete in horsemanship and reining.
With those horses, do they overlap into the other aspects? Do you have certain horses that you use for reining or hunter and jumping? Or?
We do. Yeah, our horses, they either do the English or the Western. On the English side, they can do both the equitation in the flat and the equitation over fences. Those go hand in hand, but on the Western side, they focus predominantly in horsemanship or reining, but don't cross over.
Okay. And what's your duration of showing and practicing, semester-wise or yearly-wise?
We are all academic year, and that's something that's different than a lot of sports here at K-State. Our season is all year long. Our championship is in April, and so we start practice and the first week of school in August, our first competition's early in September, and we go all the way through the academic year.
And with that, I guess that's very interesting. So there's no downtime, I guess, for these girls when they're on the equestrian team. And what's kind of the, schedule for those girls, maybe on a day-to-day basis? On a
day-to-day basis, they're looking at, or on a weekly basis is easier. They work out 3 days a week with a strength trainer. They practice 3 to 4 days a week here in the arena. Team meetings or video review once a week, like other athletes would do for football or basketball per se. And then the big thing on top of that is they're doing a lot of community service work. So they're out in the community doing different things out there, in addition to staying on top of their studies and putting in study table hours and focusing on their academics.
Right, they're students too, so they're
student
athletes.
First.
That's right. So those are all great things to kind of know about the Kansas State Equestrian team. I think what we'll do is we'll go to break and then we'll talk a little bit more about the equestrian team and more details about maybe those that may want to get involved with the equestrian team.
Sounds good.
I'm Dr. Chris Blevins with Horsing Around, and we'll be right back.
We're cow-calf producers from Northeast Colorado. We run about 300 commercial cows and calves and sell them at the sale barn in October.
Since we've been given multi-min, our reproduction rate is about 95%, which is pretty good for grassland, and we run bulls and we do not AI.
That means an extra 15 calves at sale time. We've been using the multi-min product for 3 years. We are really happy with it and recommend it to anybody in this business.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers and the Kansas Wheat Commission. Together, we are Kansas Wheat.
Hello and welcome back to Horsing Around. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center and joined by Coach Casie Maxwell, the equestrian team coach here at Kansas State University. And I think one of the things, before we went to break, we talked a lot about the team itself and what that comprised and how long they need to practice and some things based on those that are on the team. Maybe let's go into now, what can those do to prepare to be on the team, or when should they be, or what should they be doing to prepare themselves if they're interested in being on the Kansas State equestrian team?
That's a good question, and we get that all the time. I would suggest that during their freshman, sophomore year of high school, they start thinking about looking into the equestrian team, maybe coming to a meet and seeing what a meet's all about, seeing at what level these girls are competing. They can come watch a practice at any time. They're more than welcome to come visit on their own at any time. It's open practice. Come see a competition, ask questions to the girls or people in the stands, things like that. That's a great place for them to start. But then getting more seriously, talking to the coaches towards the end of their junior and into their senior year is our advice to them.
And going to these events, doesn't cost anything to come to watch those competitions?
It's free to the public.
And I know that maybe some don't even know, but if they go to the kstatesports.com, they can see the schedule for the equestrian team.
Yes, they can.
So that is great to know too. So whenever they are interested, now they've looked into the aspect of, I'm really thinking about trying out and going for the equestrian team, but I might want to see if there's any scholarship, or is there any aspects of financial backing for that?
There's scholarships available. We're allocated 15 scholarships by the NCAA, and we divide those out among the 50 girls on our team. What we look at when we're looking to sign people on scholarship, if you will, is towards the end of their junior, coming into their senior year, they should be communicating with the coaches, looking online at our website, like you said, kstatesports.com. There's a questionnaire they can fill out. There's a video they would submit, and they can be having email correspondence with the coaches about what we're looking for specifically in the positions that we have available. We will evaluate their application, if you will, their video and other supplemental information that they send in for scholarship opportunities. We'd bring them back to visit probably their senior year, where we'd set up a full day's itinerary for them on campus appointments, in athletic appointments and things like that, to get to know K-State and the athletic department and equestrian team.
And I think that's one thing that's good to know is you can't really communicate a lot with them until they kind of come up through and getting closer to graduating high school. And what you expect, it'd be really good for them to make sure that they actually just come and hang out and see and investigate on their own.
Sure.
In that aspect, to know the kind of elite aspect that you're wanting for the competitions that they're going to be, if they get to be on the team, what that entails.
It would. We're really limited by the NCAA as far as our communication with them until they're a senior in high school. Up to that point, we can have email conversations with them. High school sophomores, juniors, that's how we would correspond with them. During their senior year, we can begin and have telephone conversations with them, but that's still limited to one call a week and all these different restrictions. And so getting them in here, that's the easiest way to have that door open and do their own homework and get to see what we're all about.
Wow. Well, thank you, Coach Maxwell, on giving some great information about the Kansas State equestrian team. Here at Kansas State University, there's a lot of stuff going on, including the equestrian team, so come by and see them compete here at Timber Creek. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center, and we're with Horsing Around, and we'll see you around.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.